Lead over a tough Iowa State team. Coming up on 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Let's join that one.
On a pin down, a pull-up jumper off the bounce. Wow.
Royce White leaves it for Christopherson. Traveled. Well, we mentioned the association. Fred Hoiberg grew up in Ames, and he was a ball boy in 1984, 85, and 86. Later, of course, became a great player for the Cyclones. A guard from 91 to 95 at 6'4". And then, of course, now in his second year as a head coach after that 10-year playing career in the NBA. He also, by the way, was an all-state quarterback and turned down a football scholarship from Nebraska.
Now, you would have known him sooner then if he were in football. What a class act, too, and he's really brought a lot of dignity to this program. As he played for a great guy, too, Johnny Orr.
Johnny Orr. Here's Miller.
Nice pass.
Fine defense from Royce White.
I think underneath, I think it's Boo-Boo Paulo. But swarming. He doesn't say much to the refs either. He just does his job, and that's a great cut. And unfortunately, Gilchrist unable to convert, but the big guy, he just gathers everything. Don't leave anything on the table.
I'm going to leave you to say that it was a boo-boo by Boo-Boo.
My one and done.
See real stories of human achievement featured on the Buick Human Highlight Reel at ncaa.com/Buick.
Bern, how about Anthony telling both of us yesterday about his playing days in high school?
Well, he played for a charter school in Chicago. He was a 6'2" guard as a junior. They won. Think about the talent that this young man brings to the floor. They won 6 games his junior year, and they came back and won 6 games his senior year. By then, he'd grown to 6'10". As a junior, the only school that had really exhibited interest was Cleveland State.
What a mistake a lot of people made. And of course, he went back and visited his school. None of his teammates ended up in college. Now he's got the assignment with White.
Really great to see Kyle Wilcher back on the floor.
Absolutely.
So apparently that's obviously not a serious injury when he fell hard.
Wilcher, I believe, and Miller that time. They are rotating people. Miller on White. That trip.
Percy Gibson is going to go to the free throw line.
Looks to power to the goal, this guy.
One more. Davis and Wilcher will switch positions.
You know, with the limited bench that John Calipari has or uses, he does an amazing job rotating guys, keeping them out of foul problems and fresh. And here's that little camouflage start, and they are matching up.
Well, they really only go 2 deep on the bench. Here's Miller again.
Oh, what a foul there.
A little hip check, I think, underneath.
Hip check and a beauty.
Yeah, it was. All he missed was the kick save.
He's got his hands in there. He competes, this little guy. And Miller's had some awfully good looks and converted most of them.
And that is the second foul on Boo-Boo Paulo.
Yeah, that little checkout was a Tavern League discard, by the way. When you can't jump anymore, just throw that hip in there.
You sound like you're familiar with it.
I think most of us are. Ever. Nice.
Davis. Whoa, he lost it. Paulo picks it up. He's got man Allen for 3.
A nice run to the three-point line. That's what they got to do. They're going to push if they get the opportunity, but they don't want to go up and down with the Wildcats.
3.5 to go first half. Wilcher. Guarded by Gibson.
They run the guard. They got to walk because of the double being anticipated.
5 turnovers, a few pictures, and signing a few autographs.
So the people should know that's the problem we have going through the lobby. You get all that attention,
Right.
pictures, and minus the hug. I can see that happen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little nice little post up right out of the gate. What a tough shot that turned out to. A little bit of a venture for Gibson.
Percy Gibson gets it over Anthony Davis. And Iowa State looked like they were going to get blown out in the first 3 minutes. It was 9-2, and they have played on an even keel since then. Anthony Davis, how about what he's done so far?
Well, his impact is incredible. We always think of the defensive end, but he really understands how to do a job creating space for himself, becoming available for his teammates, and getting finish around that rim. Explosive, lean, and he's got some toughness. Nice little curl.
Well, John Calipari yesterday couldn't say enough kind words about Anthony Davis and his family. From Chicago, there's the pass.
That's why he says kind words.
Yeah, that's right.
And who wouldn't? Who loves you?
Well, his mom and dad have been to every Kentucky home game this year. Make the drive down from Chicago. Davis's 3rd assist.
Christopherson gets in the lane again. Those are the ones you got to make without Davis around you.
Teague. Terrence Jones.
John Robick, the assistant coach, was mentioning to Anthony's parents what a great impact they've had on his life, and just raised a terrific youngster.
Teague. Davis. Royce White.
I love how he rebounds and comes out. Now he screens and gets the open look for his teammate back.
Iowa State counts on threes. They're now 1 of 8. It's so much a part of their offensive arsenal. And when they're not hitting, they can get in trouble in a hurry. Now they have hung close, but they need the threes to start falling.
You knew John yesterday. He didn't get up early in the morning to let them make threes.
Teague, 1:25 to go first half. 5 on the shot clock.
Wow. A little give by Gibson there. He shouldn't have left. He had the size right on the foul line. Too easy. Oh, my goodness.
Turnover, 2 on 1.
3, 4 on 1.
And the margin has grown to 10 with 46 to go.
And that's Davis again. I was going to say they need 2 good trips. What an impact that kid has on a game, doesn't he, Davis? God.
Coming up on AT&T at the half, beg your pardon. Scores and highlights and the latest tournament news. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. We'll go back to Greg Gumbel in the game.
Boy, just get in that open area. Such an intelligent approach to the game. Able to take that hit. Didn't make it, but just so aware on the offensive end as well.
Anthony Davis goes to the free throw line.
But when you think of it, he didn't have to go through the grueling recruiting process, did he? You know, just he got better late.
How about the growth spurt between his junior and senior years in high school? Well, his family, as we mentioned, is here. On the left, that's his twin sister, Antoinette.
Yeah, the folks getting a round of applause in the building, too.
Yep.
They can be explosive and blow you out quickly.
And his mom and dad. And all of a sudden, it's a 12-point lead, and White on Jones.
Well,
fouled.
I like the aggressive play, though, don't you? Royce White going at the 2 bigs and undeterred, determined, and hard nose. A nice job here by Jones, really trying to stretch the legs. And remember the drill they did yesterday on the sideline where they stretched their legs? And John did that. Why do you think we did this? He said to the team all year long for games like this where we have to keep people in front of us. And they better be alert now, too. This is a push situation. Keep everybody in front of you. Try and get Teague to go backwards towards the baseline.
One of two, and a substitution now. Anthony Booker replaces White.
This is dangerous. They're going to let them pass it all the way to half court. Too much time to do that.
A miss at the buzzer for Darius Miller. But Kentucky ends the half on an 8-1 run, and they will have a double-digit lead going into the locker room. Let's go to Leslie Visser, who's with John Calipari.
Pretty good sized lead. Indiana's been on the comeback trail, now down 4 with the basketball. Let's get out to Brian Anderson, Dan Bonner.
Kind of a makeshift lineup here for Tom Crean. Got Pritchard and Abel. Roth is in the game. Abel again. Little strong. VCU weathers the storm. 4-point VCU lead with the ball. Burgess gives it over to Graham. Just under 9 minutes remaining in regulation.
Cody Zeller getting a long break over there.
Got Holes and Sheehy soon to check in.
Here comes Zeller too. I think Tom Crean's just trying to keep his guys fresh.
Graham, no. Pritchard banging away and out of bounds. Mike Littlewood was right there.
Pritchard trying very hard to block out, and he's only got one hand available. Telling the official he was pushed out of bounds.
Cody Zeller back in, as is Jordan Holes. 3 fouls for Holes. Sheehy checks back in as well. It's the starting 5 for Indiana on the floor.
And if the VCU defense is going to continue to push out on the Indiana three-point shooters, they have to find Zeller inside. And here on the defensive end, Hulls needs to be aggressive, but also be careful because he's got those 3 personal fouls.
Yes, and it's knocked away Oladipo briefly. Burgess gets one up. Excellent defense for Indiana. Can they convert? Holes has been on the bench for a while, as has Zeller. There's a foul on Haley.
Well, we talked about Zeller and how he's got to get more involved, and he just does a nice job. He moves and then gets the basketball and attacks the basket immediately. Haley, he's pretty quick, but I don't know that he's quick enough to stay in front of Zeller if Zeller's going to drive the ball aggressively.
Zeller is a point and a rebound away from a double-double. Holes loses it.
That's just a great play by Theus.
Amazing. Just relentless. There's a lot of talk about full court pressure, but their half-court defense
has been
superb.
outstanding. Has been outstanding today. Now they've got to get something going in their half-court offense.
Brandenburg, no. Shot for a very poor percentage this year from 3. They like him attacking, but he made one a moment ago. Almost had one there. And Holes steps on the line, over and back. VCU turns over Indiana again. Havoc in play for VCU. 12
out to the Rose Garden.
5 for 19. The story of the game, particularly in the second half, has been the VCU defense. They really have been able to force Indiana turnovers. 10 turnovers already here for Indiana in the second half, 20 for the game.
VCU had a 9-point lead. It's down to 4. Their ball. The Sheehy takes it away. VCU gives one away. And now Indiana can cut into that deficit.
Rams have struggled in the half-court offense.
Indiana beat #1 Kentucky earlier this year. They beat #2 Ohio State. They clipped #5 Michigan State. Another steal. So giveaways on each side after the timeout. This is what they want Brandenburg doing. And Holmes with 3 fouls. Had to be careful. Brandenburg's great attacking the rim.
VCU maybe got a little too comfortable shooting the 3-point shots. They have to do a better job attacking.
Snaps it 0 for 6. From field goal range for VCU. Watford.
Tough shot.
And Brandenburg too quick for him. Foul on Indiana. Abel in for Holes. Our game summary, Dan.
And the field goal percentages still look very impressive, but as we said, not really so high in the second half. But 9 3-point field goals for VCU, 21 turnovers for Indiana. VCU taking a lot of threes, but here they have the opportunity to drive it to the basket, and that's what Brandenburg does best, as you mentioned, attack the goal.
Theus matched up by Watford, who now has 3 fouls. He stays in.
That last foul by Watford looked like a tired foul. Just reached in and tried to stop the game.
So in the Big Ten, Indiana is known as this. Brandenburg throws it away. Indiana's known as one of the most well-conditioned teams in the league, but it pairs in comparison to VCU. The relentless pace that the Rams play. Cody Zeller has it blocked by Haley, and a held ball. Possession arrow, VCU.
This is a really good play by Haley. He keeps his hands up. Zeller goes into him, and he just gets his hand right on top of the basketball. Even though that resulted in what is, in effect, another turnover for Indiana, I think that's where Indiana has to go with the ball. They've got to get Cody Zeller more involved.
6 field goals, 7 turnovers for VCU. This is a big possession for the 12 seed. 6-point lead. Approaching 5 minutes left in regulation. And Oladipo thought it was a clean strip. Instead of foul.
Well, again, you have to wonder if these are tired fouls now. Indiana's starting to reach a little bit.
Hit the air talking about Beauty and the Beast. Well, Indiana plays a beautiful brand of ball, but they're turning it over at a very high rate. Shaka Smart wants a timeout. VCU timeout. Virginia Commonwealth with the lead in Portland. 5:09 remaining.
Well, Colorado and Baylor are ready to go. Yeah, it was a quick look inside the Baylor huddle of head coach Scott Drew. They're wearing those electric lime green alternate uniforms. The number 3 seed Baylor in that South region in Albuquerque. Your officials, Roger Ayers, Brian O'Connell, and Lamar Simpson. As Baylor looking to secure a spot in the Sweet 16. Colorado coming out of the Pac-12, a former Big 12 rival of Baylor, but made the move over to what was the Pac-10, helping create the Pac-12. Won the Pac-12 conference tournament for an automatic bid. Baylor controls the opening tip. And they're underway in Albuquerque. Let's go to Spiro Dedes and Bob Wenzel.
And the first time in the modern era as it's knocked out of bounds by the Buffaloes.
Heslip believes that if he is on the near side of the 10-second line, he's within his range.
Well, he certainly was the other night. Here he is from the corner. Got it. And Heslip picks up where he left off. 5 threes on Thursday night. And Baylor jumps out in front.
He's taken 2 threes already in this game. 1 for 2, 50% pretty good. Now at this end of the floor, Colorado has to be a little bit more patient in their offense. They have the advantage, I think, in physicality, but not length.
Nice pass inside. Brown to Robertson for the deuce.
Spiro, what we're going to see in this game a little bit is length versus strength. Dufault is a guy who's very physical, and so is Robertson. Perry Jones and Quincy Miller are not.
Spencer Dinwiddie with the defensive task of trying to stay with Heslip. Robertson the steal. Off to the rim, and he's headed to the free throw line.
And there's the strength. This kid is a great defensive player. Anchors the paint and yet can dribble the length of the floor. Anticipation's a great thing, isn't it? Andre going strong to the basket.
Well, you mentioned he was born in San Antonio, was not recruited by Baylor. Think that's on his mind tonight?
I think so.
He's only a sophomore, yet he continues to climb the rebounding charts in the history of the program. In fact, he's right at the top, surpassing the legendary Burdett Halderson's 57-year record for rebounds in a single season.
He averages a double-double. Not many guys are doing that in college basketball. 11 rebounds a game.
A.J. Walton on the floor, handles the point. Shot clock at 7. Here's Jones inside. The tip by AC, no good. Rebounded by Colorado. Buffalo's 5 straight. Robertson looking for more. Barely got the rim. Rebound AC. Here comes Pierre Jackson. Pass deflected out of bounds by Dinwiddie. Still 30 to shoot.
Pierre and Brady Heslip. 35 points between.
Well, we'll keep you in touch with Baylor and Colorado. They're just getting underway there, but it's coming right down to the wire at the Rose Garden in Portland, where VCU's defense, full court pressure, is starting to pay some dividends. They've got the 6-point lead with 4:29 to go. Let's get back to Brian Anderson, Dan Bonner.
Now, Dan.
Well, and one thing to keep in mind here, Brian, as we go down the stretch, VCU now has 7 team fouls, so Indiana will go to the line on VCU common fouls. Indiana has only committed 3 fouls in the half.
See the bonus indicator, bottom of the graphic. And Zeller misses the second. It's a 5-point VCU lead. Can they pull another upset? 4:18 remaining in regulation. Took out an ad in the Washington Post on Monday saying we're back to bust your brackets. VCU had a win over Wichita State, a 3-point win. It was a thriller here Thursday. Brandenburg, a lot of dribbling. Brandenburg, Daniels to the corner, and Burgess comes up empty. Watford. Burgess controls, foul on Oladipo. Who has it left in the tank? 5-point lead for.
In your area of the world, no matter where you are, we'll have it for you. And it should be more March Madness. It's coming down to the wire. 3.5 minutes to go in Portland. VCU with the ball and a 5-point lead over Indiana. Let's get back to Brian Anderson and Dan Bonner.
To 0 field goals in the last 6 minutes and 45 seconds. And they've turned over Indiana 4 times.
And it's hard to score if you don't shoot.
VCU has shattered Indiana's season high for turnovers. With 22. Shot clock is at 4. Brandenburg, no. Big possession right here for Indiana.
Indiana's half-court defense has been pretty good. We mentioned VCU not really shooting the ball very well, but can Indiana capitalize down on this end?
Zeller attacking Haley, and Cody Zeller, big bucket for the Hoosiers. Zeller, 12 points, 13 rebounds. 3-point game.
If you're VCU, I don't think you want to settle for the 3-point basket. You'd like to try to get something going to the basket.
1 field goal over the last 10 minutes.
It's amazing, and they still have a 3-point lead.
That's how good their defense has been. Theus answers. He did it the other night against Wichita State. Another big bucket for Darius Theus. Zeller right back. Foul!
Have to have your feet on the floor facing the dribbler. And Haley worked very hard to get back and get in position. Zeller, I think, thought he could go by him. Another turnover for Indiana.
First foul on Zeller. Haley comes out.
Well, we talked about VCU not settling for the three to get something going to the basket. Theus does a great job using the screen by Haley and gets the jump shot inside the three-point line, excuse me.
Theus has hit some big shots this year. Had game winners against Akron. And William and Mary hit the game clincher Thursday night against Wichita State.
This becomes, I think, an almost must-stop situation for the Indiana defense.
It's a 5-point lead for VCU. Under 2 to go.
Again, I still think something going to the basket.
Daniels. Zeller the rebound. Big stop for Indiana. Can they capitalize?
The last one was a must stop. This is a must score. Indiana only has 1 3-point field goal in the second half.
Zeller, what a move. He's fouled. Impressive move from the big man, the freshman, Cody Zeller.
It is clear that this has been the Indiana strategy the last few times down the court, to have Zeller spread the court and create some space in the lane for Zeller to get down the lane. Shaka Smart disappointed with that foul call. Now Zeller's got to make the free throws.
Well, remember, Reddick, the man who was guarding Zeller, is playing with 4 fouls. Wendy Abel checks back in. Cody Zeller, younger brother of Tyler, Mr. Basketball in Indiana a year ago, a game-changing freshman. And he hits them both. Back to a 3-point game.
Time's running out, though. Indiana cannot afford to give VCU anything here. Indiana's only got 5 personal fouls, so they can afford to be aggressive.
Keep an eye on 30 in black. Troy Daniels, the sharpshooter.
Now you want to make sure you find him beyond the arc.
Theus has taken many of the big shots for VCU this year. Here's Burgess. Shot clock at 3. Burgess fouled. Oladipo got him.
Sheehy got him.
Sheehy, beg your pardon. Free throws coming up for Burgess.
Boy, that was a big play. Shot clock is running down here, and Burgess, the veteran, the guy who's been here before, takes it into the lane. Sheehy's got that arm on him. That's what the officials saw, and that's what they called.
Lone returning starter, Bradford Burgess, hit the game winner against Wichita State, misses the first. There's Mila Burgess, Bradford's mother. She was the one who made the phone call to inspire her son, said, listen to your coach. He wants you to be a leader, be the focal point of this offense. Do what he says.
Burgess has been that in this postseason.
Missed them both.
Now, you do not have to go for 3, but whatever you do, if you're Indiana, you have to do it quickly.
A 3 will tie it. Oladipo attacking the rim. Oladipo finishes. A foul. A chance to tie for the Hoosiers.
This is really a good play by Oladipo. It looks like he loses his balance for a minute, but is able to maintain it. Reddick commits the foul. You don't need a 3, but you have a chance now for the old-fashioned 3-point play, and complicating the problem for VCU is that's the 5th personal foul on Reddick. Oladipo, a 75% free throw shooter. He has not been to the line today.
Only Cody Zeller gets to the line more for Indiana than Oladipo. Reddick is gone. Fouled out. 46.5 remaining in this game. And the Hoosiers a chance to tie it up. VCU's lead was as large as 9 in the second half.
Obviously, the strategy here down the stretch would be dictated by what Oladipo does here on the free throw line.
Sophomore out of Maryland. All tied up. Just what you'd expect.
About an 11-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so VCU cannot hold it for the last shot. Indiana's got 6 personal fouls now, so every time they foul, VCU to go to the line.
Who has the guts to take it? There's Daniels. Oladipo rebound. 18 to go. Hoosiers on the run. Oladipo has it blocked. Sheehy. Yes! Timeout, VCU. Hoosiers lead.
This is a great play by Oladipo to get the ball up the court. The block shot, but Sheehy is right there. Indiana, do you go for the 2 or the 3? 2 ties, of course, 3 will give them the lead.
Possession arrow belongs to Indiana.
Remember in the situation the other day, they had Theus drive it into the lane.
Clock winding down from 3. No, and that's it. Indiana headed to the Sweet 16. For the first time since 2002, Indiana is on their way to the Sweet 16. What a thriller here tonight, Dan.
Wow, this is a great job by Theus to get the ball into the lane, and you're not going to get a better shot than that. VCU, a wide open look at it, and the clock just runs out. But you're not going to get any better shot than that. That's Brandenburg. Indiana covered the drive to the basket. VCU had the open shot. The Rams relied on the three-point basket throughout the day. It failed them there. What an effort by Indiana to come back in the second half. In fact, this was their only lead in the second half, I think.
Oladipo hit a shot in the early seconds of the second half to take the lead. That was it until Oladipo did it on the other with a pass to Sheehy. Shaka Smart of the VCU Rams are out. The man who hit the game winner, Will Sheehy. He's standing by with Jen Hildreth.
His coach just said to him, I knew you had one in you. Did you know when you took that shot?
I mean, I always wanted the big shot. Victor made a play. It got to me. It was in my hands. I wanted to shoot it, and it went in.
Tell me about this game. What a battle for you guys. Nothing came easy. How did you get the win?
You know, you got to give it up to VCU. They played hard the whole game. They turned us over, pressured us. But, you know, we persevered. We have guys on our team. We make big shots. Siwa did a lot. You know, Cody took over at the end, so we just played like a team.
Well, congratulations. Coach Crean, have to bring you in here now.
Stay here, Will.
Will, don't go too far. Tell me about this game and the pace and the defensive pressure. It wasn't pretty in the end, but you got the win.
You know what? We tell our team, we pray before every game, and one of the biggest things is God gives us the tools and the courage, but it is our responsibility to do the work. And these kids, these young men, they do the work every time. And we played against a great team. We knew it, but these guys just stuck with it. They had a resolve about them in those last few timeouts, especially down 6, that I'd never seen. It was scary. The resolve they had and the belief they had in winning in one another was downright scary.
Congratulations. Enjoy your way to the Sweet 16,
Thanks.
Coach.
Steve Smith, Seth Davis, thanks a lot. Thanks for the ammo. Thanks.
Whatever you need, bulletin board material. Indiana advances. VCU is out to the Sweet 16. Go the Hoosiers. And they're awaiting Kentucky and Iowa State. That is ongoing right now on CBS. Tom Crean had a bunch of players never been to the tournament. Questions about could Indiana win away from Assembly Hall. And who is it? Oladipo to Will Sheehy, sending the Hoosiers to the Sweet 16. For Dan Bonner and Jen Hildreth, this is Brian Anderson saying so long from Portland. We'll send you to our studio right after this.
Well, great drama just finishing up in Portland, but we've got some more in Louisville, a game that has gotten much, much tighter. John Calipari, head coach of the #1 seed, University of Kentucky Wildcats, got up to a double-digit lead. But now as we move into the second half, Iowa State has answered. They've fought back. They're down only 2. In fact, they've outscored the Wildcats 15-6 since halftime. Royce White is introducing himself to the college basketball fans across the country and across the world. In some ways, he's been the best player on this court, a court full of Kentucky players who very soon will be NBA lottery picks. Let's rejoin Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery.
And Christopherson airballed it from 3 feet.
A little discard. And Jones really plugged to get that ball. Gilchrist back on the floor. He's been pretty quiet. I'm wondering if they're going to run a little flex action to get him involved on that baseline.
Well, Teague will inbound. Davis, Jones, Darius Miller's out there along with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
This is their curl play where they pin a guy and then go to the rim. Dribble exchange, turn the corner or go to the rim.
Shot clock at 12.
Well, they are well prepared, Vern, for this team.
Shot clock at 5. Darius Miller, pull-up jumper.
Oh, he's tough. He is tough, Vern.
That was some shot.
Big shot. He likes to provide the lift. They go single. And they pay for it.
Babb. Not this one.
That's exactly what Iowa State wants. They get their threes going. Well, when you need something big, you got Miller drilling. The big fella looming. Strong at the rim.
Well, they wipe up some perspiration here. A lot of folks sweating. And that includes the Kentucky fans, I think, with this Iowa State start of the second half.
They should be. Allen 0 for 5 on threes. That was an ideal play where they induced the double and then the open opportunity deep.
Christopherson, Melvin Edgem in the backcourt. Chris Allen, Royce White, and Paulo. Allen back outside, gets a little bump from Edgem, off the mark, and a foul called on Kentucky.
I think it might be Teague on the floor. So they are getting some opportunities right now.
Deron Lamb instead. I'm sorry. It was Lamb, and that's his third. See if there's a move made on the Kentucky bench. Not so far.
That's that same play they got the lob. And
yes.
Pretty nice play because you got the pin in for him for a three in the corner at the end of that.
How about the feed and a block, a hell ball. Possession arrow does go to Iowa State, and Royce White taps himself on the chest and says, my fault.
If you're a little bit indecisive, you're going to pay for it inside. Stay on the ground. Don't go or don't bite for the fakes.
Christopherson back outside. That was Davis's first block of the game.
They got a shot here too. And your mention of Lamb with the fouls, this is really, you can see the little shove. That's what the ref got. The earlier one. And John can't believe it at all. He didn't see the hand on him.
That's 4 on Lamb. And Christopherson is at the free throw line. One more.
Well, that takes a deep threat away from John Calipari, too.
On the floor now, Tyrus McGee, the junior from Stringtown, Oklahoma. Actually born and raised here in Louisville. They moved to Oklahoma when he was a 10-year-old. 48-44. Davis.
Oh, you don't leave him. Nice rebound, Gilchrist.
And a block underneath. Jones, no. Rebound, Cyclones.
And a lot of guys down on the deck there for Kentucky. They recover.
Royce White.
The piece. There's the block.
That's the second block for Davis. Here comes Teague.
Well, they come at you, don't they? Blow down that floor with great team speed. You can't relax. Such a presence on the defensive end. We mentioned the other night, Bill Russell in his heyday did these things, and I love how he keeps it in play frequently to start that run out. Solid.
Now that is one heck of a comparison.
Yeah, and it's high praise. I mean, he's got a long way to go.
Honest to God.
He's got a lot of rings to go to catch. One of the greats of all time.
Anthony Davis. 2 blocks in this game, 166 for the year. So I guess I'm buying dinner. I took your wager.
That was a lock.
Listen, you're going to love the hamburger.
Where do you go? Usually number 3-0, igniting it.
And
double.
they have done that. Yes, here's Allen. Look at how Davis altered that shot. Tipped. Jones has it. Jones lost it. Terrence Jones out of Portland, Oregon.
John wants a foul on that particular play, but this is just a hustle play. Great effort by Jones, and on the put down just loses control. My heart skipped a beat. I thought he was running right into us.
I thought so too.
I'd be all over.
Oh,
nice
my
cut.
goodness, how about that?
Oh,
How about
look
that?
look at him run the floor. He's at the rim.
Miller!
My lifetime, a moment or history, I look at what we call the shot in the Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio, against the Cavs, man.
3 seconds to go.
That moment looked like somebody sat down the night before making that portrait. You know, he said, I'm gonna put wings on Michael Jordan's back. I'm gonna put a 50 pounds.
Russell's cackling someplace with me mentioning this, but this kid just pursues it just like guys pursue the 10 on a drive. I mean, he is thoroughly involved. It sets up the money guy, I think, on that team. He knows he can drill them with the best of them. What a valuable sub. Good.
Iowa State had that great start to the second half, 13-4, and actually tied it up 42 all. Now Royce White on the bench. So it's Paulo. Beg your pardon. That was not Royce White. That was not Royce White.
Got to grab it. Got an open look. Well, they are really missing opportunities. Nice rebound.
Booker, Paulo, floater.
That's what they need.
Yeah. You think Davis and Jones down there don't alter the nature of the game?
How about him with a 3-second violation by just looming with the arms straight up? And you know, Fred Hoiberg's seen a lot of great NBA players in his career. This kid a bright future.
That's the first turnover of the half for Iowa State.
Royce just stands him up. You can see the strength of White. See how he holds on?
Oh, wow.
He can't move. He's like a rock.
Davis knew exactly where his teammate was. How about that find?
Unbelievable. Unselfish. Great feel. And guys cut and present themselves.
11:41 to go.
When she just came to sit down, she said, "I'm so glad Anthony Davis got a block." How do you see this game?
Well, give credit to Iowa State. They're absolutely making it a ball game. I think we've gotten up by 10 and 11 a couple of times, and they've chipped away at us. And obviously what stands out to me is we're getting outscored in the paint when we're playing Player of the Year in Jones and, probable Player of the Year in Davis and All-American Jones. And what I want to see is for Jones to take over. Our scoring is very balanced, but when TJ gets on fire, he's pretty unstoppable. And by the way, they only have 3 assists for the whole game because it's all White. Kid's incredible, incredible.
Well, I have to tell you, Coach said to me that you will go into his office, shut the door, and complain about the coaching.
He's a bit of a storyteller, old Coach Cal. I mean, I did ask him once about he just sort of milks that story. It's a great ball game and wonderful event. Glad to be here.
Thank you, Ashley. Back to you, Vern.
All right, thank you. And while the conversation was going on, Fred Hoiberg got teed up.
Well, Royce White, he felt got fouled on that turnover of his as he drove baseline, and he has great self-control, so he was right there. So in his mind, that should have been called.
So a technical on Hoiberg, and a stare down taking place. Take a look at this.
The reach in, and the Fred looking for the call. And because he's out of the coach's box, they're going to call it. We'll see if they can get his guys going again.
And the largest lead of the game now, 57-44. Touch last by Teague. It'll be Iowa State ball.
And that's the end that they've got to get going. Make some stops, be productive on the offensive end. Ball screen, he likes to go right quite a bit.
Back to Chris Allen. They've just not hit the three-point shots at all. There's a foul
on the pass.
Yep. I think Kid Gilchrist. That's his second. $16 fouls, so Allen will inbound.
They fake that lob there, and they pin down. Well, they are really getting out on that three-point line.
Booker, 2 of 16 now. 2 of 16. They average 8.8 made per game.
Down underneath, was that Boo Boo? Yeah, trying to pick up the charge. Paolo.
And if that's Boo Boo, that's 5. It is on Paolo. So the sophomore from Ames, son of an Iowa State professor, will have to sit the rest of this one out. 57-44.
I think they're ready to play. You got to report in, though. Getting set defensively is so important against Kentucky. You want to be facing them. Don't let them turn the corner or get those angles to get to the rim. Then it becomes chaotic. Pick you apart, find the lobs. Look at this. Ooh, nice play.
Miller.
How about him? He's tough. He's unhurled. 37% from 3.
6 of 10 from the field. Allen. Fade away. No. Tip. No.
Oh. Uh-oh. White with a foul on Miller's scrape. Talked about taking good shots with this Kentucky team. They share it, but the little bump and then the fade, beautiful, and then from deep. This kid has some game. He is solid.
That is the third foul on Royce White, and it's going to put the senior Darius Miller at the line. In the bonus now, Kentucky. Boy, they have gone on some run, have they not?
They sure have. They're so explosive.
It was 42 all.
That seemed like 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
Right?
A 20-2 run.
All about preparation. They were set to force the tough challenge threes.
Rebound Edgem and
Miller, I think, on the backside there, Vern.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we're now informed that they called a technical on Terrence Jones. And that brings a predictable reaction from the crowd. Seats 22,000 in here, and let's see if we can see what happens.
Oh, there, yeah. Jamie, that's one thing they've been instructed. Perfect behavior expected from all the players all the time.
So let's check in on Colorado and Baylor. This is a tight one, about 5 minutes to go in the first half. Colorado within 2 of the 3-seed Bears. This one playing at the Pit in Albuquerque. So Colorado looking to pull off the upset in this third round. Tough little floater won't go down. And Miller up high for the rebound. So kickball violation. They'll reset the clock. Here's another look at that down low delivery. Good hands by Quincy Miller, the 6'9" freshman out of Chicago. So it's going to be Baylor ball underneath with 4:28 to go in the first half. Both teams in the bonus. A.J. Walton on the drive. .12 on the shot clock. Walton off the window and hammered back home by Quincy Acee. Crashing that offensive glass to give Baylor the 3-point lead. Now Colorado calling out the set. Askia Booker. Harris Tunks. Shot clock down to 8. Tunks. Offensive foul. With 3:34 to play in the first half, Colorado and Baylor in Albuquerque. They'll be going to a commercial timeout. Meanwhile, Iowa State and Kentucky down inside 9 minutes to go at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, where Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery have the call. Let's get back to them.
Pass the bigs and then the fine.
We talked a little bit about Royce White's anxiety disorder for which he takes medication. He was telling Leslie Visser earlier that when he feels an attack coming on, it releases adrenaline in his body and he becomes exhausted, and it affects his ability to fly. It's not so much a fear of flying as it is the exhaustion he fears will come. And as a result of that, his grandfather, Frank Martin, drove Royce White from Ames to Louisville for this game. He didn't want to take the chance on getting exhausted. There's his grandfather. Made the trip to Ames and drove here with him. He was also, Leslie mentioned at the half, recruited by Kentucky. Verbally committed to Kentucky when he decided to leave Minnesota, or they decided to let him go. Here's the jumper. Wow. Another one.
How about this team?
Wow.
Lamb deep. Everybody expecting Iowa State to drill the threes. John mentioned it to Leslie too. Nice drive by Christopherson. Mentioned at halftime that we can get twos around the rim. We don't, we can make threes.
Yeah.
We shoot a high percentage out there, 37%.
Well, they're just under 50 now, 8 of 17 tonight. And Iowa State has suffered dramatically.
Oh, boy, were they ready for this game. Woo! Simple dribble handoff. And I, for one, think on that play, you've got to trap it and then rotate in the back on Davis's slip.
Royce White with another. Just to complete the story, John Calipari had a verbal commitment from Royce White to come to Lexington. But he felt the anxiety coming on, and he elected not to fly down here. He also had learned that he was and his girlfriend were about to become parents of a son. There's another one. It's a torrent of baskets.
Sky high emotionally. And they get the small change. Jones upset again. Be careful.
Minute 50 to play in the first half in Albuquerque. Let's get back to Spiro Dedes and Bob Wenzel.
Carlin Brown back on the floor for Colorado.
I like that move.
Trying to stay with Heslip. Showing the mid-range game. Short rebound Brown.
Immediate impact, huh? Defends Heslip. Makes him go. Not three. Rebounds.
Goal 10 against Stacy, and Colorado has cut it to a point.
That was about 5 feet above the basket. I know it was goaltending, but that sure was fun. Exactly. Brown has had an immediate impact on the game as soon as he got in. He is chasing Heslip around. He's got 4 inches on Heslip. Watch them off the ball here. You got to play Brady so tight to make him put it on the floor.
10 to shoot. Here's Walton straight away. Colorado just cannot protect the defensive glass. And Anthony Jones, who had a impactful game Thursday night against South Dakota State, will shoot free throws.
He had 11 points in that game. He's also 6'10" and slender. Played a great first half. All of his points came in the first half on plays just like that one. Activity on the offensive glass.
Jones, the senior from Houston, one of the more intriguing players in the Big 12. He's basically a 6'10" shooting guard.
He fits the profile. 6'9", long and lean. They've got 4 or 5 guys like that on this team.
Jones, along with AC and Fred Ellis, among the winningest senior class in Baylor history. Colorado will give it right back to the Bears. 54.1 remaining. First half. And Baylor clinging to a 1-point lead. Quick change by Tad Boyle. Booker back in.
Doesn't want Tomlinson to pick up another foul.
You see the turnover numbers.
Game is being evenly played. Score is even. Statistically even.
Jackson, Heslip again, his 6th 3 tonight.
Start checking the record books, friends.
Brady.
18 in the first half, all on threes.
Heslip with his 11th 3 over the last 60 minutes. Baylor in front.
Dangerous guy on the floor. If you're not close, forget about it. If you are close, forget about it. 6 threes in the first half. Another inbound play. He's got 18. His career high is 19. And a kind iron on that particular play. This is fun to watch.
Brady Heslip has stolen the show here in New Mexico. Harlan Brown, nice body position, turns, banks it in, 30 seconds to play. And Baylor's lead down to 2.
We had Laurent Rivard of Harvard made 6 out of 7. And now we have Brady doing his thing. We also had John Jenkins as one of the best 3 shooters in the country, but he wasn't doing this.
Shot clock turned off, 8 seconds to play in the half. Jackson against Booker. Bullet pass underneath, it's loose. 3 seconds. Officials blow the whistle, 1.4. And a possession arrow favoring Colorado.
This pass was a little bit too hard, uncatchable, I think. Help side defense, very important. Notice the officials getting in here right away to prevent any extracurricular activity. When 3 or 4 guys go to the floor, you see the striped shirts getting involved in the scrum as quickly as possible.
Brady Heslip will get a well-deserved rest here, 1.4. Austin Dufault, inbound to Brown. Launches, and it nearly went.
Well, they're going to put some ice on Brady Heslip's hand because he has been jacking them from deep. His arm might be getting tired.
Brady Heslip, the pride of Burlington, Canada. 1 point off his career high, 18 points, 6 threes tonight. But Colorado right there, down by as many as 8. Trailing by only 2 points at halftime. Jamie Maggio standing by with Scott Drew.
Thanks, guys. Coach, an extremely close game here. What are your impressions of the first half?
Well, we knew it was going to be a close game. We gave them too many easy looks. I thought we lost some assignments. We'll work on that and hopefully make more contested. We can't give them easy layups.
With a tight game like this, what is your message to your team here for the second half?
Well, take away their layups and then we're good.
Okay, Coach, thank you.
Scott Drew at Baylor. Tad Boyle in Colorado. One of these 2 teams 20 minutes away from the Sweet 16. It's a 2-point game at halftime. The AT&T at the half is next. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
Well, more action underway from Portland, New Mexico, and Louisville. Are about 4 minutes into this one. Louisville wearing the white uniforms with the red numbers and trim, and the Lobos of New Mexico in the red with the white trim. 3-point lead for New Mexico. This is a 5 versus 4 seed, so really dead even type of matchup. Peyton Sieve, the spectacular guard for the Cardinals, cannot hit the jumper there. And New Mexico, coached by Steve Alford, back in the tournament. And now with a 5-point advantage. We'll keep you in touch with that one as we go. But we also want to let you know what's going on in Louisville, Kentucky, where the University of Kentucky holding a 20-point lead over Iowa State with 4:32 to go. The spectacular Anthony Davis. Here, 21 seconds left on the shot clock with a big lead. Clock is your friend. Lamb looking down low. This is Terrence Jones going to work. Back to the left hand and gets it to bank home. Iowa State made a pretty nice run in the early second half to try to make a game out of this, led by Royce White. But it looks like it's going to come up a little short. Fred Hoiberg has gone to his bench a bit here. Deron Lamb left alone. That's a 3. 15 points in the game for Lamb. 4 Wildcats in double digits, led by Marquise Teague with 24 on 10 of 14 shooting. Oh, beautiful takeaway. Iowa State's Percy Gibson just grabbed it and laid it in. And now a whistle with 2:55 to go. Quite happy today. They've got the 84-65 advantage. Just 2:55 left in this one. Royce White, the star for Iowa State, is fouled out, so Wildcats just have to finish this one off. But remember earlier this year in Bloomington, Indiana, the Wildcats facing facing Indiana, Christian Watford, the buzzer-beating three to stun the Wildcats 73-72. Why do we show that? Well, it is Indiana awaiting in the Sweet 16 when Kentucky advances. So let's send you back to Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery.
Kentucky are right in that time frame anyhow, but this is a hot shooting, talented Kentucky team, and they're unselfish.
That's key, I think. You know, just the nature of the way they share the ball.
And, you know, when you look at the point totals, you know, nobody jumps out. 13 is the top. You know, the 14, I should say, with Anthony Davis, but everybody in the hunt, 9, 10, just sharing the wealth.
Allen cans that one. 2:45 remaining.
Well, the love-in worked, huh? The Huggy Bear and...
I thought Huggy Bear was coaching at West Virginia.
It was like a Woodstock event.
It really was something to say. Calipari yesterday, he was effusive in his praise for Terrence Jones. And he said, I want you to, there we go, with the jumper off the mark, chased down in the corner by Chris Babb. And he stopped practice to say, you guys find out what he eats, how often he sleeps, what he wears, and you emulate it, okay? And then he ordered Deron Lamb to go over and give Terrence Jones a hug.
Jones is saying he didn't foul. I don't think he touched anybody on that particular play, but he jumped up.
Well, we're about to wind this one up. And standing O for the crowd. Jones fouls out, 8 points and 11 rebounds. As we wind down here, a reminder that there are games continuing on both TBS and TNT.
And, you know, to finish your thought on the love-in, how about the positive nature of that workout? I mean, very uplifting, reinforcing things, but John had a
very quiet demeanor.
Very upside attitude the whole 2 hours or hour and a half.
Edgem at the line. And, of course, Murray State got knocked out today. They join Western Kentucky as Kentucky teams who started the tournament now on the sidelines. But the host team at this site, Louisville, is playing out in Portland. And that game is available to you on TBS.
Keep scrapping. I love it.
Gibson. And he'll shoot a free throw as Davis gets called for the foul.
When you have kids playing like this, I mean, that's got to make you feel good. If you're on that sideline, Fred and his assistants, it's, you know, it's tough. You know, you've taken a major shot from a talented team, and you just can't keep getting in a hole like they did.
(85-71). (90 seconds remaining).
You know what they're doing right now, Vern, I like. You keep moving, and even though you're using the clock, you're in a flow. You're not standing. Look at all that action inside. Cross screens, Exon,
Lamb, Davis.
I think he'd like to take a three at some point.
Teague. 1 second left on the shot clock. Tonight on CBS, he spent 18 years on death row for a crime he didn't commit. How a group of students helped set him free. A 48 Hours mystery tonight only. CBS. 1 second left on the shot clock. 66 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, Percy Gibson just putting that chest. They stop the play so he doesn't foul Davis. No goal.
No, waved it off. Waved it off.
Well, they got to do a better job on their 1 second plays.
Ah, that's awful.
I'll tell you what, I'd have them running steps.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, edge him with a little flying elbow there.
They challenge everything, don't they?
1 minute to go. Miller says, put it in Davis's hands. You've seen a pretty good example of why Kentucky was the top seed.
They can do it all.
Underneath, Kid Gilchrist. This game was tied at 42 as Iowa State came out on a 13-4 run. Long rebound, Teague, final 20 seconds to go. Final 10 seconds. A 16-point Wildcat win.